guys, welcome back to Reading the Word and Understanding the Bibleverse. I'm finally able to do this in 2023 now. So, here's the new year, and I'm going to start off with where we left off, which was in James, and this is chapter 5. So I'm reviewing chapter 5. And first one I'm going to review it's called Pain and Suffering, and this is verse 10. It's where I'm going to start. It says, "Brothers, it is an example of patience in the face of suffering. Take the prophet who spoke in the name of the Lord. As you know, we consider blessing those who have persevered. You have heard the Job persevering and have seen what the Lord finally brought about. The Lord is full of compassion and mercy." So what I love about this so much is that we're starting off the new year, and what I like about this is that in James chapter 5, it's talking about the suffering, right? The suffering that Job went through. Job is from the Old Testament, and what I like about this is Job was getting tested. Everything that you think was going wrong in Job's life was getting tested. Now, God allowed Job to be a great example for all of us born again believers and who are saved through Jesus Christ. So what I like about this so much is that Job gives us a great example of how to perseverance during our suffering, during our hard times, when we do lose a loved one, and who to go to. And Job didn't go to people. He went to God himself. He prayed to God and said, "God, what I'm going through, you allow me to go through, but give me strength and the perseverance through the suffering to keep on going." And that's what I like about this so much, is that Job was a great example for me when I was struggling to breathe for 2 years. And that pain and suffering that I was going through, I just got to remember that I have to just keep on going close to the Lord. And I knew that Jesus was the only way I could get healed. I knew that Jesus was going to heal me at some point and some time, but it was in Jesus' timing. And it took him 2 years to heal me. Now, in those 2 years, I built up my faith. I got close to the Lord during these 2 years as I'm doing this Bible study. And this is what I love about it so much, is that I had to learn through the suffering that only Jesus Christ is the one who can heal me. He's the only one who's going to be there all the time for me. And that's something that I had to learn. I had to go through the suffering and pain of this hurting on my chest and feeling like I'm not going to make it. Feeling like, Jesus, take me now. Sometimes, like Job was saying, like, I'm pretty sure he was going through that same suffering in that same time, saying that, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could keep on going every day like this. But he had to go through the suffering to build up his perseverance to what the next chapter was in his life. And that's what I had to go through. I had to go through these hard 2 years of suffering to finally feel really good. And I'm feeling pretty good now. And I'm so happy and so blessed to be able to say that to you guys, that I'm feeling 95% better than what I did 2 years ago. And not only that, but I grew close to the Lord during those suffering and hard times. And that I not only complained about it, but as I was complaining, I was growing closer my relationship to Jesus, knowing that it was his timing that he was going to heal me. I didn't know when that timing was, but I knew that there was going to be a time that Jesus was going to take this pain away from me, where I could be feeling almost 100% back to normal, where I could go outside and do normal stuff and not have to think about, I can't do that because my body's telling me not to. Now I don't have to think about that anymore. And that's what I love about this so much, is that it's all about when you're going through troubles and when you're going through hard times, it's who you cry out to. And that's why I'm saying, sometimes God's going to put hard times in life for you to go through this pain and suffering, for you to change your life around, and to open up the Bible, to read it, to grow close to Him. Because I'm telling you, when you grow close to the Lord, yeah, it's true, Satan's going to tempt you more, and Satan's always going to be there, but guess what? So is Jesus Christ. He's always going to be there. When I was in those hospital rooms and having trouble to breathe, and my parents just had to drop me off, who was right there next to me as I was walking in the door? It was Jesus Christ. He never leaves you. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that through your hard times, through your sufferings, like we all have examples of, if you read Job, we all have some example that Job walked through in our life. And we have to learn that we can't just give up. We can't just say, okay, this is it, and this is how my life is going to be. You have to understand that during suffering, during hard times, it's a way for you to grow closer to Jesus Christ. It's a way where you can spend time doing more, pray with Him more, and be closer to Him. Because He's the only one who can give the doctor's advice to heal you. He's the only one who, when you're in those hard times, who to cry out to cry out to Him. And that's the awesome blessing about this, is that we get to cry out to Jesus Christ all the time during our hard times, because He will make our life easy in life and hard in life, and He's always going to be there. That's what I love about it so much. So that's chapter 5 in James. That's 10 and 11. And then what I like about this too is in James verse 17, it says, Elijah was a man just like us. He prayed honestly that it would not rain, and did not rain on the land for 3.5 years. Again he prayed, and the heavens gave rain, and the earth produced a crop. And then it says, my brothers, if one of you should wander from the truth, and someone should bring him back, remember this: whoever turned a sinner from the error of his ways will save him from the death and cover him with multitude of sins. So what I like about this is that this describes of how we should be. First, it describes someone else in the Old Testament, which is Elijah. Elijah is a person who had great faith. And Elijah was a man who was very close to the Lord. And when he prayed, it didn't rain on the land for 3.5 years. Now, it wasn't like a drought that happened. It was because Elijah prayed for no rain for 3.5 years, and it didn't rain. And then when Elijah did pray, it did rain, and the earth produced crops. That is called growing your relationship with the Lord. And what I love about this so much, it says, Elijah was a man just like us. Elijah was a man just like us. And that's what I like about this. It says, pray earnestly. So that means we have to build up a prayer and faith to have it like this, to be able to have this control, where we could ask Jesus, don't let it rain for 3.5 years. and then it doesn't rain. And then when we say, Lord, let it rain for 3 years, let it rain. And that's the beauty of it, is that it gives us the encouragement to build our faith in the Lord this way. And what I like about this is also talks about when Jesus says, if we have faith like a mustard seed, and we tell that mountain to move to the sea, that mountain will move to the sea. But we have to have that faith. Just the faith of a little tiny mustard seed to be able to do that. And I'm telling you that there is a lot of distractions. It seems harder as the years go by to remember to read your word, to remember to grow to Jesus daily. And Satan will distract you with all kinds of things. As much as he tried to distract Elijah, as much as he tried to distract Job, Satan's no different than the Old Testament, than the New Testament. All he's trying to do is take your faith and not have it grow. That's all Satan loves to do. So for us to fight back and for us to do that, it's called opening up a Bible. It's called reading the Word. It's called growing closer to Jesus, understanding where our faith is. And that's what I like about this, is because as you spread the gospel, as you share your testimony and share the wisdom of God with other believers and people who are not believe, you never know who on the other side of the earth who's listening to you preach, who's hearing you and getting scriptures from you and understanding who Jesus Christ is just the way you're talking. So remember that you do not know the impact you have on somebody else's life. And that's something that's so important. Just like Elijah and Job still had something important. They still had an impact on our life today. Even though they're from the Old Testament, they still have an impact. That's why they're mentioned in the Bible, because they have an important impact. A lesson that we as born again Christians need to still have and still learn and still grow closer to God with. So don't give up. And that's what I like about this. It's building up your faith and your trust. So I hope in 2023 we build our faith up together, grow closer to the Lord, and understand that He's always going to be there to hold your hand. No matter how hard life gets, He's going to be there. I pray that you guys have a good day, blessed day. Love you guys, and God bless.